All right, welcome. Good Friday morning to you. We're excited. We're in round 6 of the Masters tournament. It's been a great week. And,
I think so.
Well, I can't believe I snuck Josh out of the Masters room. You're not normally allowed out during the round.
No, I put a little sign up to say shh to all the players while I'm not there because keeping everyone quiet is sometimes a Herculean task.
Herculean.
I honestly think TD sometimes is just like the shusher.
The shusher. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. First, I wanted to get a little analysis and handicapping.
Sure.
So, our Japanese pro, Eiko, I was admiring, by the way, she and Mark Lee, I was up there to take a photo at the beginning, and they were boasting, the round hadn't started, you were still trying to get people, into their seats and the normal sort of hubbub that's going on. The two of them were sitting there, the bowls like this, you can tell that's the professional.
Oh yeah, no, they're both very serious players, and they're both, I think, very intent on this match, where both of them are very, very skilled.
Yeah, we're gonna have some commentary shortly. Jennie Shen will be joining us, hosted by Stephen Hu. Eiko, the Japanese pro, and we talked about this earlier in the week. We were joking at the very beginning of the week, do we give Mark Lee the trophy now, or do we wait till the end of the week officially? And, Eiko kind of snuck in. Of course, she's a very strong pro. And she's the only one that's 5-0. So we pretty much done here. What's the deal?
I wouldn't say that at all. So it's true that she's undefeated so far, and all of the other players have at least one loss.
Right.
But because of that, you can easily see a situation where even if she wins today, she'll be 6-0, and Mark Lee will go down to 4-2.
Okay.
And he will probably not be in the running for winning. But on board 2, we have Eric playing. And
who's had some very tough games this week.
Yes.
Really just nail biters.
Really nail biters. And if he wins, he will be at a 5-1 record. And so he and Eiko haven't actually played yet. So the final round is almost assuredly the pairing algorithm is going to stick them against each other as rank 1 and rank 2 if he wins. And if she loses to him, they will both have a 6-1 record, and he will likely have the better tiebreakers. So if that happens, he will very likely, if he beats her, he will likely be first place. If she beats him, of course, she will be first place. So it's looking like, depending on this round, we could very easily, even if Eiko is perfect, going into the final round, we could have a very competitive final match.
And that'll be tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So make sure you tune back in for that. That'll be a great match as well.
I think so.
Cool. Now, you've been TDing this for a few years now, right?
This is a second year TDing.
Second
the
year,
Masters division,
yeah. How does that happen? Were you out of the room when the vote was taken?
Well, last year I got really lucky in the fact that it was run out of Virginia, right?
Yes, it was. That's right.
So I mean, my friend was basically the Congress director, and he sends me an email. Hey, Josh, we're doing that. We're having the Masters division is having its own TD. You want to be the TD? Mm-hmm. And I was very honored, and I said, yeah, sure, I would love to. I had the pleasure of playing in the Masters myself in 2016 in the Nyu Eiko Congress, which was really fun, which I enjoyed. And so I thought it would be a great thing to do. I've been to a lot of Go Congresses now and played in a lot of U.S. Opens. And if 1 or 2 times I can go and be the TD, it's not a big sacrifice for me, right? It's fun in its own right, and it's a task that we definitely need.
The Masters is obviously our premier tournament.
Of course.
What would you say are some of the differences between that, say, and the U.S. Open?
So Andrew Hall and I, the Open TD, and I were actually discussing some of the differences between being a TD for each one. And the way he put it, and I think I agree with, is being the TD in the U.S. Open is kind of like it's almost like a mass service for the public almost, in that individual player concerns, while important, sometimes you have 10 people at once surrounding you, each with their individual concerns, and you have to very, very quickly get through them. And for something to be a problem, it really has to reach the point of several people coming up sometimes, just because of the sheer quantity of people that you have to deal with. And being the Masters TD is almost a little bit more like, I don't want to use the wrong term, it's kind of like being concierge TD in the sense that some of the smaller things you want to make sure that the players have going into it, because these are very serious matches, of course, with money at stake, with very real
for us, it's pretty significant amount of money.
very real financial stakes at play for the players. And so, you want to make sure that the smaller things are really taken care of. Everyone's clocks are set up in advance. The room is just a very, very quiet environment for them with other players not talking or reviewing their games alongside. You want to make sure that the pairings end up well. Every player has water if they need it, just access water if they need it. Just a million little tasks that you want to make sure so the players themselves can just focus on the games and there's no real distractions.
So a couple of things that I had noticed, one is, and we talked about this at the very beginning, because I saw this shoe caddy on the side back of the door, and I was like, what's with that? I thought maybe it was something left over from the campus, but can you tell folks about the shoe caddy?
Yeah. So I did that last year. I discussed it with the AGA board, and they were on board with it. The idea is, of course, with the advent of AlphaGo and other computers like it, we now have superhuman Go playing computers.
Right.
And in the age of cloud computing, it is, we've seen in chess, we have seen, actually very recently, there was a story of a grandmaster. Grandmaster who in the bathroom was caught in the bathroom looking at his little smartphone to get moves. And it's not a matter of you want to avoid something like that. It's not like I would think or suspect. I know a lot of players in the Masters very well. And it's not even a matter of suspecting that someone might have some sort of malicious intent to do that. It's more about, it's almost about perceptions, right? You want to ensure that everyone has confidence that something like this, if they are not familiar with anyone else in the Masters, they want to have confidence that this is just nip it in the bud. This is just not an issue. And so players, turn off their phones and put them in this little shoe caddy.
Which is interesting because in the Open, they just, Andrew, and I was thinking about the differences, both in terms of, the Open obviously has hundreds of people. You have, I think it's 17, something like that.
Something like that, man.
It's a much smaller number.
It would be a lot harder to implement in the Open. First off,
they just don't bother.
Right? No, you can't. Well, also, first off, there's of course money at stake, which is another reason.
In the Masters.
In the Masters, there's money at stake, and then the other issue, I guess, with the Open is, in the Masters, if a player doesn't have their phone or tablet to record their game while they're doing it, it's
not
fine.
a problem, yeah.
It's all in their memories.
Right.
But if you tell someone who's maybe only a 10Q or an 8Q that, you can't record your game on any kind of electronic device, and you have to you can't just ask them to replay the entire game afterwards, which really kind of lessens the experience for them. And so, yeah, that's basically been the policy the last 2 years, and the players seem to be okay with it. Everyone of course loves their smartphone these days, but myself included. But I think it's a pretty small sacrifice overall, just to ensure that everybody is confident of the integrity of the event.
So just as we're wrapping up, and you sort of mentioned this, there was, I think Mark Lee it was, who had a little bit of a question. This comes up a lot in the Open and in your regular tournaments. People have questions about pairings,
Yes.
I did this and they think that, and we all know there are algorithms, but then you have things that can be adjusted because it's set up, generally so that players from the same clubs, won't play each other. And I had heard that Mark had raised a question about, I think it was pairings maybe yesterday.
Yeah, it was a question on pairings. Yeah, so yesterday we had 2 players with a 4-0 record.
Yes.
And 2 players with more than 2 players with a 3-1 record, and the 4-0s didn't immediately play each other.
Right.
Right, and so that was in part, when I'm, there's all sorts of myriad of settings you can set to the pairing algorithm, and one of the things you can do is to try and avoid, you can have it be a little bit more flexible for the top board so that the top players aren't necessarily going to play each other immediately. And the decision for that really was because, first off, we have a very small, comparatively, Masters division compared to what we've had in previous years. So,
some years we've had almost 30 people.
Oh, we've had more. When I was there in 2016 in New York, we had 38 people.
Yeah,
I was the 37th.
Right, no, I remember. It was almost like, who wants to be in the Masters?
Right, it's like, welcome to the Masters division, right? And so we have a lot of rounds and a very small number of players. And so if you just do the generic pairing algorithm without any modifications, and you just have it pair, people like they would at the exact same record, you will have all of the top matches will generally be done by maybe the 4th or 5th round.
Which doesn't work.
Which, isn't the ideal environment. Also, originally, we were actually going to have 9 rounds.
That's right.
Like we had in past years, and I requested that they reduce that to 7 rounds, first off, to reduce player stress. Playing 2 games at this level.
9 is a lot.
Playing 2 games like this in a day. We're doing it today. and we did it the first day, but asking players to do that repeatedly is viciously
I'm so
stressful.
glad you've done that. just from our point of view, but I also agree with you with the players. And I've spent a lot of time
so
with the
stressful.
players. I think it's really hard. These are very serious. The time limits are long, and I just think and I think the games are better when people can really focus. When you're doing 2 games a day, I just think that's really
brutal.
tough. So I think that was a good decision.
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the other things we did. Well, I should probably head back up, actually. I need to make sure nobody's yelling.
We need to wrap here.
Yeah.
We're going to have Jennie Shen is going to be with us momentarily, and Steve, who will be hosting. And this game looks like it's really getting pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
So we'll have some commentary. Thanks so much for taking time to be with us.
Hey,
Great
thanks
job.
for having me, man.
All right.
Much appreciated.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, hey, welcome back. This is the penultimate. I've been wanting to use that word all week. Our second to final round. We'll be back tonight with our final round. Round 6, big round, and we're real excited about this game and to be joined for the first time this week by Jennie Shen, Tudon Professional. So the game is well underway, and we'll go over to Jennie and to Stephen Hu.
Chris, good morning to everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our U.S. Masters coverage. Of course, I'm here with Jennie Shen, Tudon Professional. Team Santa Barbara, this is actually. So
we're both from Santa Barbara.
Yeah, good to see you. It's been a while.
Well, you're in Germany.
Yeah, I was away this year. How are things going in California?
You should come back to Santa Barbara. It's beautiful.
I will. I miss that beach. I'll tell you what. It can get pretty cold and dark and rainy in Germany sometimes. I certainly miss the sunny weather and the coast for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I'll be back. Of course, this year later, I think we'll be at the Costin Open, so I hope to see you there. At the very least, that's in LA, I think, in late October. So of course we'll try to do those tournament commentaries if we can. But yeah, certainly I'll be back. So maybe see you at the Go Club somewhere. Sure. if you do come to the Go Club still.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so the game's already been started. As we mentioned already, I think in this game, well, this is one of the matches we've all been looking forward to. I guess Eiko, this is the first time we've seen her play in the U.S. Masters. I don't know how much you've been following those games, but yeah, like she's quite strong, isn't she?
Yeah, I think so. So far, she got 4 straight wins, right?
5 straight wins.
5
Actually.
straight
She's
wins.
undefeated.
Yeah. So right. So who's her opponent today?
Mark Lee.
Mark Lee. So this
Yeah.
game if she wins this game, she can win the tourney, right?
She has a good chance of winning the tournament.
Yeah,
actually, so yeah, she would still have to win like the last round just to be sure, because we actually have a pretty tight race. So like Eric Louis also in a competition, right? So I'm guessing if Eric loses today and Mark loses to Eiko, maybe she just wins outright. But yeah, you never know. Like it's always tough matches, so it's sometimes a coin flip. You never know what's going on. In either case, yeah, the game's already started. I think this is going to be a pretty great match. They've already begun fighting on the board. So let's just take a look and see what happens.
Yeah, this is also the first time I see her game. She's young. I think I'm pretty sure she's very strong. So let's take a look.
Sure. By the way, if you want to follow the games in real time, you can go to OGS Online Go server. Check out the links there. If you want to root for your favorite players, we already have the polls underneath the video player as well. So you can go root for either Eiko or Mark. Certainly, Eiko's leading the polls to become the champion, but we never know, right? Actually, I mean, Mark is, we say, the most formidable opponent in North America. So definitely a lot to look forward to in this game. So yeah, I think that Eiko is black and Mark is white.
Okay, let's jump into the game.
Yeah. And we're seeing this from I guess from a different perspective. So we started from the bottom left corner, but no big deal. I'm guessing the game recorder must be like sitting this way, because like to him, this is the top right corner. Usually that's what happens. But yeah, pretty normal opening, very professional level.
You guess the next move is 3-3 invasion?
Probably. I mean, I know that once upon a time, right?
Yeah.
We just did like the San Rensei, or like this one, right? Or maybe just approach, and then we used to have this kind of old school opening.
Yeah, yes. This is still not old school. I think still played. It's still played. Even in bots games, it's still played. Well, do you like 3-3 invasion, like now?
Well, I don't.
Do you like it?
I like invading as 3-3, but I don't like playing start points because I never play start points in my personal game.
My question is, do you like that jumping into 3-3 very early like this? Like everyone does this now.
Oh, I think it's fair. I mean, like the idea is you when it's wide open, right? You can force your opponent to pick a direction, right? So it's pretty hard for them to make a choice. But if it's like there are already a lot of stones on the board, right? Then there might be like a clear side that you should block from, and maybe that's the idea.
Well, I think that currently there's no conclusion about the moves are good or bad, because like all the bots play these moves, so everyone copies it. But personally, I hope things will change.
I mean, it's like fashion, right?
Well, I know. I mean, the current bots level, they do this. But I hope that the bots level improves, and someday when they have a big jump, a big improve, and then they stop doing this. I hope.
Well, I'm saying right now that the first best move is going to be Tengen in 50 years, or maybe less.
Well,
so mark my words.
I'm kind of sick of this, so let's continue.
Sure. Okay. We'll just fast forward.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of this 3-3 invasion in every game.
Why? You don't like it?
Well, it's like, yeah, everyone does that. Bots do that, humans do that. Then it's like in every game.
Well, what's your take on the rise of the AI nowadays? Because it's not just about the 3-3, right? Actually, in all kinds of moves, you know, I think ever since 2016, and especially 2017, we have 0-0, which is, I think, publicly available to everyone. So if you have a, home PC with good
yeah, I know.
specifics,
Everyone is using that.
Yeah. So what's your take on that? Do you think it's a good way of learning?
I think so. Definitely a good way of learning. But I think that for high-level players, they can make a better judgment. Like you see a bot move, you have a better judgment. Like,
right.
Especially like I think that you should pick the moves you can handle for like. I think even for pros, because sometimes the bot moves are too fancy, and then you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And even if you
lot.
go through variations, it's still quite hard to understand. So I think that everyone can definitely learn from them. But I think that you should pick the moves that, like, even if the win rate is a little lower, but you should pick the moves you can understand or you think you can handle. That will help, I think. But if you just copy the fancy moves, you don't know what you're doing, and then you can
Then you're lost, right?
Right. So so this jump, this is a new move, right? Like when we used to do 3-3 invasion, we almost didn't see this move at all.
Well, we can play out one of the old school,
Well,
sequences, right? It used to be like this one.
Yes, but actually, you see the jump is not very different because you can see if you put it like this, right?
Right.
And then white cuts here, it's the same.
Sure.
So the ladder right now, the ladder is good for black, right? So in this case, I don't know if black still will play here.
Probably, right?
Black would
like
still
if
play
black
here.
connects in here, then that's like looking pretty bad in the corner.
Right, but right now there's another variation here, so white can actually play here, right?
Yeah.
And then
just push.
and push.
And now cut. Okay.
And then next move, this one, right? This is a pretty cool move.
Wait, so first of all, black doesn't Atari from the other way now, right?
Yes, because if black Atari's this way, we compare the double honey variation, it was like this.
Oh yeah, of
right?
course.
So white gets this exchange is definitely good for white.
Yeah.
Because otherwise black should play
yeah,
here,
tiger's
right?
mouth.
Right. So black will not choose that one, but connects here,
Okay, I see. So there was a stone here.
right?
And
then white plays here.
Wow.
So this is another pattern from the bots. Well, currently almost every move, everything like these are all the bots patterns.
So is this like even like I guess like black looks like he's pretty low on the second line there, but white has some nice outside.
Well, I guess that the theory has been changing, but we don't have. Right now, it's like we're still trying to figure out the new theories from the bots moves.
Sure.
So it's like the time that in between that the old school is gone and the new thing comes,
Yeah.
but we're in between that. We haven't figured out the new things yet.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, like, what do you think of this? Is this a wall or is this?
A weak groove, right?
No, it's not a weak group, definitely.
Well, for now, it could be.
But it could be a
changed.
target in the future, right? So from the, I guess from the bot's eyes, this is not alive, but black is alive. So low is not a big problem sometimes,
Yeah.
but you have to look at the whole board to decide. So I think this is one way. But another way for white is white can just ignore and play elsewhere instead of continue here. So let's see what they did.
Yeah, white approaches.
Yeah, white ignored that, right?
Just Tanuki. Play away, and then
And then
actually
black
took
plays
more.
here. Yeah, so I think this is very standard. If you look at a lot of boss games, this happens a lot.
Right.
Yeah, because this shape, now black has a very good shape here, right, in the corner. And then in the future, like this kind of move becomes a pincer.
So actually, black can turn the tables, right, and start
Right,
attacking white.
right. But white gets another move here,
Sure.
so double
Yeah,
approach.
Double approach.
Yes.
This one's also kind of. Is it like old school already, like the double approach, or is it still pretty normal?
Pretty normal, but the follow-up has changed.
I see. All right. So, okay, black's probably gonna attach, and then.
Yeah, so now everyone attaches, right? But this is still a choice.
Yeah.
But we used to see this move. Now we almost don't see this move.
Oh, really? Why is
I mean, you ask the bots. They don't do that. And then we humans don't do that either.
We try to confirm it, right? So Leela played there, so it must be good, right?
Well, I mean, all the high-level bots, right?
Uh-huh.
They from AlphaGo to the current high-level bots,
Yeah.
they all play there. This one.
So from your point of view, is there like a reason for that? Is that because white gets into the corner a little bit more?
Well, this was a variation, human pattern before.
Okay.
It used to be, but the human pattern before was black was here, right?
Oh, yeah,
Black's
the
move
tiger's
was
mouth.
here, but the bots all play here. So now everyone switched to this one.
Okay. So I have a basic question. Is white not worried about like the cutting point here? Because we're seeing like a possibility of a push and cut, right?
Yes. So it used to be here. So there's a possibility that
Yeah.
when white
So
pushes,
white
black can
probably-
extend.
So black will extend, right? Because if he blocks there, then
Instead
it's
of
cut.
yes, right. So black can
Uh-huh.
extend has this, and
So I guess
then
white push out?
what? Then black can play this again. Yes. So this is the human pattern before, but like the human's response for the push, like. But it still depends. Like sometimes you can block, but the thing is that
Yeah.
when white pushes here, and if you cut, it also creates another cut here. So white also has some weakness. This is one thing.
Right.
Another thing is black's corner is not dead. Black's
Yeah.
corner is kind of alive.
It looks like he has a lot of vitality.
Because
there.
there's a second line attached, right? But if white pushes and cut now, I think black's gonna cut. So white is not happy to do that.
Oh, actually,
right?
so he cannot do this one, right?
Right, because
If he does this one, then I think white just kills
this
it.
way black will kill the 4 stones.
Uh-huh.
So white kills himself, right?
Right. That's
So-
definitely not good.
Right. So I think that this is part of the reason black is not afraid of this push and cut.
I see. So okay, white will also play away, right? We can check it out in the actual game. Yeah.
I'm
again,
pretty sure
white
they
wins.
do this.
Yeah, two space jump. So.
Just with jump, yeah. I think this is a good direction to help these 3 stones on this side, right? We just said that, for example, if you go from this side,
Yeah.
whatever, and for example, black pincers,
Yeah.
this one, it's also pincer this side, so it's like
Alright.
one stone pincer both sides.
So I guess now, white still can't cut, right? Because if he cuts, then like this side gets covered now.
Yes.
Like that, he fixed that cutting point, but
Right.
then these stones will be trouble. So.
Well, the corner is not dead, so push and cut is not
Right, right, right.
severe.
So okay, in the game, this was pretty even, right?
Well, pretty normal.
Yeah, and then so black. Okay, Sato's in the corner, and then white gets something outside.
Black played this pincer.
Oh, so first this exchange.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this sequence, but it's
Uh-huh.
actually turned out to be the same. I was thinking black's next move will play this, but
So-
she played here first, right?
No, she played this one first.
Right. So I was thinking about this sequence.
Uh-huh.
So after that, then black can cover. This move also defends a cut. And like in this case, we don't want to decide we want to honey from here, or because this is pretty solid and it just fix the cut. And then in the future, we can decide the direction.
I mean, like
of
Black already
attack.
gained something, right? He pincered. So,
Yes.
like White has to deal with this group
Yes,
now.
right. So in the game, Black played this first.
Yeah. So we've arrived at the same result, it seems. So yeah, and White
And
pushes
then
out,
it's the same.
Black's gonna cover.
Yes, Black still plays here.
and yeah,
And then White played this tiger's
White
mouth.
fixes.
So this move, I would think that this is like White is saying, making eyes, make life, right? Then White played this diagonal. Black
Right.
connects.
And then turn. And then okay, Black just pushes. So I guess we've now arrived at a like stable situation, right? Like both groups seem okay. And
Yes, right. Do you like Black or White
Ah.
so far?
I mean, I like that Black's shape is good. Like this corner is pretty solid, and like I mean, of course, these two stones can be pincer, but it's like they're still pretty open. So there's something's gonna happen there anyway. I think, I mean, one of the reasons people don't play the double approach as much, right? Like in the old days, they do that a lot, but nowadays it seems like Black can always seem to get away with it, right?
Well, I think that you think the double approach didn't happen before so much, right? I think the reason is that people usually answers the approach, and
okay.
they think double approach is like Black is taking advantage of the corner, right? But I think the thing is that the bots don't care. It's like you approach. I don't
We're gonna
care.
beat you anyway.
Double approach is not a big deal, so they just let the opponent do it. And of course, the double approach is still a very big move, right? It's still
Yeah,
like two stones
of course.
attacking one stone, but it's probably not as severe as what we thought before.
Yeah. I mean, I think Black can be pretty happy with this result because I mean he actually spent one fewer move. Right?
Well,
White
there's a
had two
move here,
stones.
right? So
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
gets. It's always a trade. You get this move. You let White double approach.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So this is what happens. And I guess that in this case, White didn't choose either this one to save this stone or this stone. I'm wondering if he's worried. What he's worried? Like he's worried about something like this because he played this turn.
Yeah, she probably wants to build this area, I guess. I mean, like this, right? You're not gonna make a lot of points from
Yeah,
that area.
and then, for example, White goes back here.
Yeah, and then Black
and
even-
then Black goes back here.
Yeah.
Something like this, right? So White wants to give up that one stone.
Okay, to
And
expand.
then to expand this side also helps this one. Helps this because there's like a friend here, right? Instead of a Black stone here.
Sure. I mean, actually, there's a chance that White could like cover, right? Like the outside, maybe link
Yeah.
up in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So far I think
far
it's pretty even.
Yeah, and then all right. I think White's as it turns out, White's actually gonna keep building the top right, which is why I think Mark played the push over here at cube 14, and then Black's
Black
gonna
comes
Hane.
here. So in this case, if Black continues, for example, this
Yeah.
is also a very big move. If Black continues here, right?
Right.
This is a very big move. But I guess Black doesn't like this kind of jump, and also like this.
So
So White has this big framework here after the jump, and it's also kind of connecting this with this side.
sure, and then like everything's connected together.
Yes.
Right? And then this is suddenly looking very big.
Right. So Black still want to attack this group. So Black wants to play here to cut this off,
Right.
also trying to reduce this side.
And then so White has to respond. Right?
Yes.
White has to
So
Hane.
like this one, right. If White doesn't respond,
Oh,
this
that
move
looks so
is
good.
very big, right?
Yeah.
But I think White can also play this move first. I'm
Okay.
wondering because this move is Black has to respond, right?
Probably,
Connect.
right?
Because there's a push
Yeah.
and kill the corner.
Yeah.
But
Is-
this is not urgent. Maybe White wants to play here directly.
Sure.
So it's not urgent, maybe. Also, if this side is solid, this move is not as big, maybe.
Oh, the tiger's mouth.
Yes.
Right, for Black. Okay.
Because the tiger's mouth is for Black to come out to expand this side, right?
Yeah. But right now there's like a White stone, right? So
yes.
there's not much potential there.
Yeah, double honey is expected.
Okay. All right. So White is gonna Atari,
Black connects.
and then Black connects.
White is gonna extend.
Yeah. And then black pushes.
So black pushes here.
Yeah.
So black is hoping white comes here, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering if black would just kill this stone or come from this side. Or maybe just kill it. Or come out from here. So
Well,
I mean,
both are pretty big, aren't they?
yeah, I know. So, but in the game, white played this honey. So white wants to be more like this is a honey of the head of 2 stones, right?
Right.
So this
It's
is
tighter.
This reduces one liberty. So that forces black to go back here.
Yeah, because actually otherwise like it just gets laddered, right?
Yes.
You can see from here. And these 2 stones are just
Yes.
out. Okay, so black has to answer. And then, yeah, white jumps out. We're just going to keep catching up a little bit. Yeah, and then black peeps. And jumps 1 space. And then, wow, really, Mark's going everywhere. I thought he was going to deal with this group, and now he like makes another group.
Well, that group is not very, because it's not very weak, because this side, white has eyes, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like something killable right now, but it's also not alive, not 100% alive. So it's like he's not very worried about that, but it's not something he doesn't have to worry in the future. But he thinks that if he continues, for example, this is too passive.
Oh, yeah,
right?
then like 5 would just
White,
fix, right?
black will, I guess this one.
This one.
Yeah, just fix it. So this is kind of like, yeah, I think that's too passive. So white wants to create some trouble.
This is actually kind of a headache for black, right? Because I mean, black could also have a weak group, and that could happen, and we could have a running battle.
You think it's a headache?
I
Maybe
mean,
black thinks, okay, let's fight. No problem.
Yeah, well, actually, this is what I'm excited about because in the first 5 games, we didn't see the 5th game, of course, but I think in the first 4 games, at least what we saw, Eiko was playing very calmly. At least like she, it didn't seem like she needed to fight against her opponent. So just very convincing, solid wins. So I don't know. Like this game, we might actually see the fighting side of her. I think. Of course, every strong player is capable of probably reading out very deep variations.
I'm sure everyone can fight.
Yeah, it's just
yes.
that there's some preferences, right?
It's just a style, yes.
Yeah, some players tend to be more peaceful. But
Well, I guess Mark Lee is a fighter, right?
he is a fighter.
So Mark Lee is not going
He
to
is.
play anything. Invasion is quite
Yeah.
right for Mark Lee, I think.
he is, he is quite the storm.
So you think that you think this is a headache for black?
I mean, of course, I like to see what happens next. It'll be interesting, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, certainly, like you said, right? This is like the ideal kind of situation when you attack the stones.
Yes,
They're just
yes.
gonna run out like in a single file line, and this is all like becoming dame, and then you just make all the points alongside.
I think so too. I think white needs to do something. White cannot just be so passive like that.
Right. Okay.
So let's see.
yeah,
White
white's come in.
played here. Well,
then-
my first feeling was
Yeah.
something like this, but this is kind of calm, like what you said. I think you know her better because this is the first time I see her game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think black just coming out, right? This is
Yeah, I think black's idea is that
Yeah.
with this move, there's a move to seal this white group. But this seal cannot kill it. But just like if you
put some pressure.
Yeah, put pressure and force white to live inside.
Yeah.
That's good enough for black, I guess.
Yeah. So okay, white jumps out, and then
White
black's
jumps
gonna jump
out.
out too. And then okay, white slides in here.
So white also thinks that this is an easy way. This is easy to settle. So white doesn't
Right.
think it's a problem. Now you don't think this is an invasion. White just like easily settle.
Right. I mean, there's a pretty wide gap, right? And then white has some forcing moves.
Well, I think the thing is, it all depends on the status of this group.
Right.
So if this group is like, if black seals it in and white is in trouble
Yeah.
and has to make life or even cannot live, then I think white might not be able to play this move. But definitely white doesn't think so.
So he feels confident that he can settle this.
Right, but I think like, for example,
Yeah.
when white jumps out, right?
Uh-huh.
My first feeling is this one, but
Oh, really?
yes, because it feels like if you just don't do anything, is this really okay? Like,
Well, I wouldn't feel 100% confident about it.
let's say
It
we do
can be
this.
risky. Yeah.
Yeah, is this really okay?
Well, we have to. I don't have their level of reading, so I'm guessing they trust their own.
Well,
know.
you just throw this back to me.
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yeah, you're the pro. So anyway, yeah, it looks like black.
It looks like white can live here.
Yeah.
With one move.
So okay, let's go back to the game a little bit. Oh, sorry, there was. Yeah, okay, there's a stone here already. Right, and then this is white's turn, and he plays this one. So black is gonna block, and white just extends. So it looks like this one's alive, and then there's probably some like Hanes, and you could get a few Sentes, right? Because I mean, like if white gets this Hane, he can even in the future. If
Well,
white
with
covers.
this stone, it will help white to live on this side. So I'm
Right.
wondering, should white do this first? I mean, I'm wondering, like, should black do this first or not? I mean, why not just play here and force white to live first? Or maybe
Right.
she thinks, maybe she doesn't want to.
Like this might be a problem.
Well, this is okay. Black can just live
Okay.
with one move.
I
Well,
see.
but this is definitely a very big move. But I mean, this is one way to think that black can connect with its own stones first,
Yeah.
and then force white to live here. And white is not. It's not that easy to live, right? So
Yeah.
this is one way to do, because this kind of thing, there's a cut.
Oh yeah, that can be.
Right. So if
Can
I
be
play,
tricky.
I might want to go from this side first and leave this later, and I will come back this later.
Right. So first
Well-
ask a question. Okay. Yeah. So in the game, so you didn't do that, right? And
Yeah.
as it turns out, we have two groups that are settled. So like this. Okay, so I think we'll just take a look at a few more moves before we go for a break. I think they're playing quite rapidly so far. I think that already as I move 109, okay, they slowed down a little bit, but let's just catch up a little bit more before we go for a break. So yeah, it looks like white settled, and this is fine, seemingly. I don't know, there might be some hidden decisions.
Yeah, but this situation, I kind of like white better. If I pick, I would pick white.
If you would pick one side, you would think white
I
is
would
better.
pick white, yes.
Okay. So because he's doing pretty well, right? And
Well,
both-
these are both settled,
Okay.
and then
Right.
You look at the territory, right? White has something. Black is not ahead on territory, especially for 7.5 Comey.
Yeah.
This feels like
Right.
black needs to work harder for the high Comey.
Right. Well, I'm looking a bit ahead, and I think Eiko did play an attacking move. He cut here, but we're gonna check out how this goes. Maybe in the next segment. This is really interesting. I want to dive into that after we come back from a break. Right now, the man in the studio, Chris Garlock, of course, we're gonna have one more interview with Mr. Paul Barcelon. He's been doing a lot of youth activities, and one of the organizers of next year's Congress. So it should be pretty exciting. We'll be right back.
And we're back, and we'll have more commentary with Jennie and Stephen in just a couple of minutes. But I was able to get Paul to step away from his tournament game right now. You realize your opponent is reading out lots of variations,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Okay, all right, you're cool with that. So thanks for doing that. But so this is wearing another of your hats. Normally we talk to you about Youth Go, but you are co-director of next year's Go Congress, which is going to be in
Estes Park in Colorado. We have 3 directors, so we're hoping that between us we can sort of manage the workload. It's a gorgeous location, really fantastic. Up in the mountains, Estes Park itself is at 7,500 feet, really high up.
way up there.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then the camp itself is slightly higher. It's perched in Rocky Mountain National Park, and it's actually surrounded by Rocky Mountain National Park on 3 sides.
Located, I mean, I know Colorado fairly well, but the mountain area is not so much. So where is it in relation to, say, Denver or Boulder?
It's about a little over an hour from Boulder, hour
Into the
15,
mountains.
hour 20 into the mountains, yeah.
Oh, it must be absolutely gorgeous.
It's lovely, and in the summer, in Colorado, everybody really loves to go to the mountains in the summer because it's so much cooler. So we've had so many congresses where, it's just a zillion degrees, and it'll be nice, cool mountain air. Not that it doesn't get warm; it gets warm up there too. But it's really lovely, and it's a fascinating historic town, a really interesting camp. So we're looking forward to a very exciting week. We'll have the full slate of all the professionals and all the activities that we normally do at a Congress, but in a really spectacular location.
So tell me, I saw some photos that you sent along, and it looks very historic. Is there something special about this location?
Yeah, so Estes Park is quite interesting. The thing that sort of made the town big is actually the Stanley brothers, Earl and F.O. Stanley, who were identical twins and inventors, and they invented all sorts of things. The thing that they really made a lot of money on, which paid for a lot of the town of Estes Park, is they invented a dry press plate photography that made developing possible, and that was purchased from them by George Eastman, but they retained a patent on it.
That's why, because I'm from
Yeah.
Rochester, and
Yeah.
that was ringing us some faint bells. That's what it was.
So they made all this money. They also made a fantastic steam-driven automobile that drove 80 miles an hour in like 1910.
That's fast, right? Even now, it's like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah. So and they built the Stanley Hotel, which is a gorgeous historical hotel, and is the scene of Stephen King's The Shining. He stayed there in the 70s.
That's the other thing.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So
Penny
there's
dropped. All right.
all this interesting history there. It's a fascinating town to tour. It was one of the first electrified hotels in the United States.
Sounds
and
wonderful.
since there was no electricity in the mountains, they built a hydroelectric plant, also one of the first, right, in the valley there, and used it to power the hotel. And then for many, many years, anybody who lived in Estes Park could get free electricity from the Stanley Brothers as well. So really interesting place.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Huh. And of course, I have to ask, tennis courts. Have we got tennis courts?
Yeah, we have tennis courts, we've got
Okay,
a zip
then we're
line,
good.
mountain climbing, the list of activities. This is really going to be an ideal location if you've got family coming and maybe non-players.
They want to go off. And,
But you want to have a terrific vacation. I mean, you can come and not play a drop of Go, and your family members are going to have a terrific time, while you're busy playing Go, either way.
It's going to make it very hard because, I don't mind going. I mean, Madison's been lovely, but, I always joke, the Go Congress, I go to amazing places and don't see them because we spend our whole time inside playing Go. But when we go to beautiful locations, it really gets to be kind of a challenge. But I think, as you point out, it's a great place to bring the family.
Yeah,
and do some-
absolutely. And, you can play your U.S. Open game and then just walk outside into the
Hit the
mountain
zip
end.
line.
You may lose an end game if you.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I know you got to get back to your game. Thanks for taking time away from that. Really appreciate it. And this game right here has gotten really interesting. So we definitely need to go back to Jennie and Stephen and find out what the heck is going on. Looks to me like we might even be getting into a little bit of Endgame. But let's go to them and find out.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. We're back with more commentary. This is board 1 of round 6 of the U.S. Masters. Of course, the penultimate round happening this morning. I'm joined here back with Jennie Shen, two-time professional. There are a lot of things happening. I guess we just jump straight into it.
So this game, actually, we didn't expect it go so fast, right? So actually,
Yeah, they're playing rapidly.
right. So our commentary is going very fast too. So I guess we missed a lot of the details. But still, I want to go back a little bit. Just spend like 2 minutes to go back a little bit.
Sure,
here.
sure.
Yeah. So this thing is like this area. I really think that black should come out first instead of answering on this side. Not too worry about that. For example, either way, right? White goes here or here. There are two choices. But another way for black is black can just come here and take the eyes. So now it's clear this white group is not alive.
Oh yeah, well now we definitely have a problem.
Right. So white has to get out and try to make life whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that this is probably a better way for black.
Okay, to threaten first.
Yes, because I just feel this feels like black is quite slow. Like the attacking is not. Black is actually not really attacking, and then white just settles very easily everywhere. So I'm not happy with that result.
Well, that's the pitfall of a peaceful, calm, solid style, right? Sometimes you could play a slack move when you're being too solid. Sometimes it's actually kind of important to take the initiative and attack first, right?
When can you play slack move?
I
When
play
you're
them all the
ahead.
time.
When you're winning, that's okay. But this is not. I definitely don't think you can play any slack move right now for this game, right?
Right.
Because when
Thinking
you're
about the 4-2,
ahead,
yeah.
when you're winning, you can do that. Yeah. So right now, I really think because this result, right? After that, and then white gets this move,
Yeah.
and the corner, this thing is still not alive. this is still not alive. Black can still play here right now. Yeah, but somehow I just feel this kind of black shape, kind of little, not very efficient, the feeling, because white lives very nicely here on the side with points, right? So, and then black switched to this side, play this cut.
We did say we're going to
Right,
get into
this
it.
is where we were at earlier.
So-
And this move, white played here. So this is like, white. Can white fight?
Looks tricky, right? I mean, there might be some pretty big problems because black can just extend down and then like, I don't know, it looks pretty difficult for white, doesn't
Well,
it?
you want to be fancy, you play here.
Oh, yeah,
This
that's
is a
probably
vital
even better.
point.
Yeah, that's
And
even
then black can kill at least these three stones.
Ah,
these
yeah, that's
three.
right.
Because if white connects, black comes here.
Oh, that's so
White is
painful.
dead.
So actually, we're not worrying about we're not worried about this kind of ladder running out, right? 'Cause
Well,
then black can just jump
because
out.
black
or-
can just coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like black doesn't have to worry about
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. So because white is short of liberties, so
Yeah.
this doesn't work. But if white Atari is here, black can at least kill 3 stones.
That looks like
This
a pretty huge gain.
It's
for
just
black.
yeah, the black can like cut off lots of points and gain some points here.
Mm-hmm.
So this move is a shape move. It's
Yeah.
also the efficient way that it defends all the problems there.
Exactly.
Right.
So okay, so white taking a solid route. I guess black is gonna fight here a little bit.
Well, it's kind of weird to me that black starts to fight from here. What can black do here?
Well, I told you. Now we're gonna see Eiko's fighting side.
I know, but like this side is still kind of very big.
So
one thing is that this move is very big. This move is
No, yeah,
it's
that's
not
huge.
it's not endgame move. This is taking base, and then this side, right? This is still white is not alive. Somehow I just feel like the focus is still on this side, but black starts from here. So I don't really quite get it. Like what is black trying to do?
well, we'll see. We'll see first how it goes. And,
Yeah, so
yeah.
so the thing is that if black cannot cut these 2 groups off, then the fight would not be very useful. You need to, so coming out from here,
Yeah.
black needs to cut this group and this group off.
Yeah.
That's-
Can
but-
she do that? That's the question.
Well, the thing is, what I can read, like we can read through quickly after this is also what happened in the game. Black comes here, but white seems just connect back from here. It seems like black cannot cut it off.
There's no like Tsuji or anything that like.
Can you see something?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like well, first of all, he has what blacks to push out, right? And
Yeah,
just to get
so-
better shape.
So the problem is, what I can see the problem is that pushing out from here, you notice this group is not alive, black group, this
Yeah,
black
yeah.
group. So pushing out from here and this group is gonna be a problem later.
Wait a second. Actually, so because white has stones here, now I know that we said earlier that we
Yes.
don't worry about this ladder stuff,
Yes.
right? But
This
now
ladder.
we that could be
Right,
a
right, right,
problem.
right. That's the problem now.
Yeah. So if white runs out, then
Yes.
black doesn't have such a wide avenue to run to, and we could really have a weak group here.
Right, because these 2 stones are cutting stones. They're cutting these 4 and this group. So black cannot easily sacrifice the 2 stones. If black has to save them, for example,
Yeah.
like this, then white comes here, or white just connects back here. Then like this group, these 4 stones, they are all in trouble. So I don't quite get why black wants to start fight from there. Let's look at the game.
Yeah, that's a good game. So okay, now
Black
black's
is
doing
fighting
this.
it back to this move.
Right.
And right, I think that this going back here is urgent because
Yeah.
black needs to. One thing is settle herself. Another thing is
Yeah.
attacks the white group.
Right. And well, actually, black even did this one.
Well, this move is defending that ladder. You're worried.
Oh, so she didn't do this one though, right? She didn't
Not
take
yet.
The
I guess she's gonna do that next.
Well, of course I guess she would, but in the game, Mark just played.
And Mark just lived.
Yeah, Mark just lived. Yeah, he just played Atari and take. So that's where we are at, and then. So okay, black has a gote, right? Cutting the stones off, and then okay, now black fixes this shape. White's gonna hane here, and black extends. So white hane is here, hane. turn.
This is a sequence.
Yeah, that's the sequence in the game.
Well, I think the meaning of this honey is to defend this attach. For example, if black attaches, white comes here.
Right.
And then this way, with this honey, black cannot save these 2 stones because when you play here, white attaches and then can kill these 2 stones.
But if black harness already, and then you cut, it's going to be too late.
Without
right?
these 2 stones, without this exchange, it's slightly different. Well, if you cut, right,
Yeah.
black can connect,
Yeah.
then the corner is something annoying. Like there's a
Yeah, is there...
there's a honey. I mean, there's a push. So
Yeah,
the,
first push,
the
probably.
corner this corner is more complicated that if you don't do that.
Yeah.
Also, you can see white is short
there
on
could be some
liberties
sort
on
of-
outside, right?
Bad things could happen. Here,
Right. So this move just fix all these worries.
Yeah, I
and then,
mean, it's like the difference of life and death. That's a pretty big
Right.
difference, actually.
right. So after this exchange, everything's okay
Yeah.
on this side. Make sure this is okay.
Right. So, I mean, actually, I think that's one of the most fascinating things in Go, right? The stronger you get, like the more patterns you see, you start noticing that there are certain sequences that if you play it in the wrong order, even if it's in the same like location, it wouldn't work, right? So you have
Yeah,
to do
right,
some sequences in
right.
the perfect order to
Yes.
make it function.
Yeah, the sequence sometimes matters a lot.
Right.
Sometimes the sequence can change the game.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. They could just completely alter the course
So
of the game.
white comes here, just let black connect back.
Yeah. So.
But I still think I prefer white so far. I still
Okay.
prefer white so far.
Yeah, I mean, white can still come back to this, right? As he did in the game. So connect. So still threatening the
The ladder.
pulling out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like takes.
And then white comes it.
Oh, wow.
Why,
So
why
white's
this
attacking.
becomes counterattack, right? Earlier you said you're worried about like you think this invasion, this approach.
Right,
You
this-
said yeah, this is like wow, you can jump in here. You're not worried. But now you see that. So I think the problem is black is not severe enough. Black is kind of a little bit passive about attacking.
I mean, like she went in here a little bit, right? But actually, as it turns out, like white still came out safe, and there were no
everything,
separations.
Right, everything looks good for white, and black has this weak group now. But that's why I keep saying I think black should attack this first before everything, because this sequence I also don't see the gain for black. I mean, and white gets sent to come back here. So.
Right. I'll tell you what, Mark Lee is a very strong fighter. So
Yes, he's a fighter.
Eiko is definitely up against it. He can be quite devastating when it comes to attacking groups. So that's
Yeah, I know.
definitely in his instinct. So yeah, we can check out what happens in the game.
Okay.
I think we're still about 60 moves behind, so we're just gonna
Okay, let's just.
keep going at rocket pace. But
Well, why
it does happen sometimes.
Fast?
It does happen, right? Of course, our goal is to explain to people what's actually going on in the game while trying to not be like
Too much details.
too
right?
much behind.
Okay.
So yeah, so okay, black's gonna come out and extend. Yeah, that really looks like white can. Okay, white has to connect first, of course.
what do you want to do? You might say, well, white wants to. White,
Well, I didn't say, you didn't hear anything. Because it didn't come out. So
okay.
yeah, of course, at first glance, you say, okay, this group's in trouble, and then you realize that you have to take this cutting point. Right?
Well, I think that white will be happy enough to force black to kind of connect back with just like
Some dominate like
dummy moves. Yes.
Right. I mean, like white's getting something here, so that could be.
So black, where's black?
Yeah, so okay, black's jumping out, so I guess optimal fixing, right? Because so trying to establish a connection
Yes.
as well as getting points.
Well, this block is very big.
And white got that.
White, yes, because what
Yeah.
we said earlier that this is not alive completely, and with this block is a very big move, getting a lot of points.
Now, I don't know what facial expression Mark had at this stage. I'm guessing it's because they're all pretty strong as old poker faces there in the room. But I mean, he must feel at least decent, right, about this
I
position.
think white is pretty decent right now.
Yeah, like I mean, black has to connect, right? And then this is all kind of dominate, like if that doesn't make a lot of points. And then, yeah, there's a pretty good follow up there. Like white can even peep after. So if black had blocked, right, this wouldn't have happened.
So white is taking advantage of
Yeah.
some weakness here.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a pretty big difference, I think. And then black's gonna block. And then white's gonna honey. Honey here. So, oh wow, what's even doing this one? Is there something going on?
Well, what can you do?
Well, I'm guessing the first thing that comes to mind is what if black connects, right?
Yeah, then
And
white pushes.
White is gonna push.
Black cannot stop it.
So if black tries to wedge, right?
Right.
Then you have to target from the right direction. And then
And then the 4 stones die.
yeah.
So right, this is a variation, and black cannot do this.
Right. Okay, so black cannot hold. Well, she has to
She has to connect,
Give up
or she has to
something, right?
like peep or connect
a
here.
peep. Okay. All right. So then white is gonna. Oh, white just takes this. I'm guessing that these 3 stones are not large anymore
Right.
because I mean, black's already kind of connected,
Yes.
right? And they're just
And
points.
White gets this corner. That's a lot of point too. So
I mean, the thing is, like, white also got Sente, right? So like it looks like March just keeps getting the initiative, and he's played a large move here, and that looks quite good. So black approaches.
Black
Yeah,
approaches.
white just defends now. I mean, I see this sometimes, when players just defend and like not go any further. They just say, yeah, keep the corner, then I'm good. That's maybe a sign of them saying, yeah, I'm leading.
well, this is unclear. Like this is a defense because this is a move like white gets white gets a corner and also taking black space, right?
Sure. Yeah, like they're white setting up some invasion here, right?
Well, I still feel like can black do something in the center? Like if you just do this, can black win?
I mean, black has to launch some sort of attack, right?
Well, black finally did something here, which is
Yeah.
good. But the
Okay.
thing is that this attack, the problem is that white is not gonna answer black like
Yeah.
from this kind of
This
place.
is too heavy, right?
This will make white very heavy, and then this whole group, we can see this whole group.
Yeah.
But because these stones are very
Light.
light, and so white can be flexible, for example, going out from here. So this attack will not be very severe. The severe attack is to attack the whole group.
Right, but that's not
right
easy
now,
to do.
it's not very easy to do that.
I mean, like white's also almost linked up, right?
Right.
So he's almost connected.
So I still think this area earlier, black is not attacking first. That could be a problem. So now what?
Right.
what black,
So black just
Black comes
attaches,
out.
and then
white just goes
White
out
comes
from
out.
here.
black's gonna cover here. And, oh, it looks
Yeah.
like white can even wedge. That's a sharp move, isn't it?
Well, there's not much you can do, right? If you Atari from this side,
Yeah.
you connect, white just wants to settle
Right.
to kill this one. But if black connects here, I guess white will going to fight. This seems like, because this is Atari, white can take.
Right.
So it seems difficult for black.
Okay. So black has to Atari the other way, right?
Black
As in the game.
Atari the
Yeah.
other way in the game,
And then connect.
connect here.
And then white's
And then
even
white
taking this
kills
stone.
this.
So black has to block still, right? That's how
Yes.
it goes. Gote, and then white can come back and fix the connection to just make sure. And then, Atari. And then white's just even fixing everything now. So,
So if
Yeah.
white just fix everything, I think white thinks he's ahead.
yeah, it must seem like,
Yeah.
he just wants to get rid of all the complications, right, that could arise. And then, even if black takes points here,
Yes.
he must feel good that he can.
Well, this area, black takes this one stone, but white also gets something here, right? Black got a little bit here. So, but from the, I didn't count so far. From the sequence, my feeling is white is better.
Okay, well, we can catch up a little bit and do a quick count if you like.
Yes, yes.
So first of all, black's played this one, so just to get more points, I think.
White
Probably
played
one of
here, right?
the largest one on the board now. So yeah, white just.
So this is pretty much going
Yeah,
to the end
reduce.
game. And then white turns here. Yeah, that's a very big
turns.
move. This is a very big move.
Then,
So we can see this
Yeah.
this area, black actually doesn't have so much because
Yeah.
if you play here, there's this clamp.
oh, that's even working, right?
It's working.
So because if black comes down,
White can cut,
white can cut, and then.
and then
Oh wow.
and
this
then
works.
these two moves, white gets one.
It's miai, right? So
Yes.
which means you can take either one.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So there's not much to There's not much here for black.
Okay.
Black play here. This move is threatening to, for example, this kind of thing in the
Yeah.
corner, right? So black wants to force white to defend in the corner. But I guess what white can do is this and this,
Yeah.
and still get some points here.
Yeah. So
Yes, that's
yeah,
what
White's,
happened
White's
in the
done
game.
that, and then okay, black's gonna block.
Well, black still plays here. How
Oh,
does
that's
this work?
that's possible.
How does this work?
Oh, wow. Okay. Just as we thought it was.
there's
Gonna,
So she's kind of like
Well,
making a
she's-
ko in the corner, right?
Yeah.
This one, and then this one.
yeah. And then White's gonna block.
White has to block, and
then-
black makes a ko.
Black makes a ko.
Yes.
I didn't even see that coming at all. I thought this was just White's corner.
Well, if you have a stone here, this is some special
Actually.
technique to do.
I mean, of course, like black's also like ignoring like stuff here, right? So we can also say that this is not exactly black's point yet.
Right. So if white comes here, black comes here. The corner is alive.
Oh my God, what's happening?
So they start fighting the ko.
Oh, wow. Okay, so White connected the ko. When
White
black
takes
was
the
looking
ko,
for this
black
ko
plays
threat.
here, and then white just ignored that.
What's going on?
If black cannot kill that white group, then this is a big loss on this
Then it's
corner.
probably game over,
Because this
right?
is kind of like a fake co-threat.
Uh-huh.
So that corner, is it alive?
Is that? So White plays this one.
It's not alive. White is fighting that ko.
Oh wait, you know what? Wait a second. This is a double ko, isn't it? Because if black connects, if black, sorry,
Oh,
Atari's-
right. This is a double ko.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
so cool. This is cool.
Oh my
So
God.
first thing we see is that this move, right? If you play here, black comes here.
Uh-huh.
Then white.
Yeah, that's totally a double ko in the game.
Oh yeah.
So if White plays here, then black's gonna come in and kill, right? Or at least there's a ko in that case.
Well, it's unclear because there's this move. If black comes, but the black can play here, so there's a ko in the corner still.
Okay. So even if you play this one, black can come
Black
in and
will
throw
play. Black plays here.
Yeah.
White comes here. There's what.
It,
Black can throw in and fight this ko, but this
Yeah.
is a big ko because life and death, the whole group dies.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
white loses the ko, so this corner, the double
Yeah.
ko is a good idea.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I guess she missed this move.
Yeah.
That's why she thought this is a threat.
Uh-huh.
This is so funny. So we
Oh, no.
explain a little bit why this is a double ko.
Yeah.
Because if black takes, white goes here.
Yeah.
So if black takes this one, white takes this one.
Right. So of course in the basic rules of Go, you cannot take back the same ko immediately, but you can take back the other ko.
Right. If black finds a threat
Yeah.
and takes this back, white takes this back.
Yeah.
So that means this group is alive.
Neither side
Either way,
has a
yes.
violation. so-
Right. This shape is
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
God. Okay, so that's alive. That means, well, black lost a lot of points there.
Yes.
If this corner is not alive, I just wonder if there's a chance for black to come back now.
Well, let's spend a few minutes to count. What do you think?
Sure. We can. Yeah, I'm just gonna relay the moves on board as you do that. So, like, play the one.
Well,
play
I
the
think
assuming-
right now, which move is the biggest? This one?
Probably
Something like
blocking,
this.
right? Yeah. Okay, so let's just say we have this position here, and then white's alive there. You could probably say that black takes this ko, and then white connects, right? And then we're just gonna count the remaining areas. Yeah, because also, like, certainly we can evaluate this position, right? Because before black played this, black probably could get like a few more endgame moves, right? But now like white's even got a stone here, so white could like come in and like do stuff. And then like this corner is not alive, but when black found the ko threat, it didn't really gain her anything because white just lived. So that actually felt like black at least lost points in that fight at least.
Yeah, I think white is ahead. From my rough count, I didn't count very because very
Okay,
quick
so
count.
show us your rough count. Yeah.
Rough count, I think white is ahead.
So how many points in each area?
It's like 60 each, not very accurate
Okay,
for
sure,
both
60,
sides.
and
But
then-
black is has a Komi, so
Yeah,
black
yeah.
has to give 7.5 points back to white for
Yeah.
for playing the first move.
That's not very easy to do.
Yeah, I
now.
think this game, if nothing bad happens, I mean nothing happens. I mean, then this game I would say white is gonna win.
Yeah, well, I just don't see any like places for blunders because like white fixed all the shapes, right? There's like no weird stuff happening there, so like white's definitely alive and settled, and you know.
So are we catching up already?
Yeah, we caught up. I think
we
finally caught up.
Okay, so this is the current.
Yeah.
We finally catch up the
Yeah.
real game.
Mm-hmm.
And I
No.
think this move is pretty big. This move is pretty big.
Yeah, so let's do a bit of endgame. I think sometimes we don't always have time to talk about the yosei, right, which is the final stages. So Jennie, how do we find the largest moves on the board? How do we play that good endgame?
I think for endgame, that one thing important is about you want to have sente. To explain sente to people who don't know about Go, it's something that your opponent has to reply. Otherwise, the opponent will lose a lot.
Right.
So that's one thing very important, that you don't want to lose sente so easily. But it's not like you cannot lose sente, but you have to, you need to, like if you play a very big move, you can lose sente, right? So this is one thing. Another thing is, I think we really need to count a lot at endgame. But like it's pretty hard. I think this is like, you ask me like how do you play endgame? This question is, I don't really have a.
You can give a simple answer. Just don't play bad moves.
Well, that's the answer for everything.
Every time you think you're gonna play a bad move, just don't play the bad move.
Well, the problem for people who play bad moves is because they don't know it's a bad move.
Right. Of course, I'm just joking. Just always play the good move. And teach for $30 an hour.
Well, I think that you sente is one thing. Another thing is just like you look at what's big. You play the big moves. Well, but there's still a problem is that people who don't play big moves, they don't know which one is big. So this is actually endgame is also level. I don't think there are many tricks about like how do you play well at endgame. I don't think so. Everything is about your level.
Right. So I mean, of course, you gotta judge like which ones are sente, which ones are gote, right?
Yes, right.
There are gonna be all kinds of moves. Some are big, some are small, some are sente, some are gote.
Right.
I'm guessing you would start with the big sente moves.
Yes,
right?
yes.
That are urgent to respond, and just get that in.
Right.
And make sure that's yours, and then you see what you do, right?
So right now, I think this move is big. This move is big for white.
Yeah.
And this move is big too.
Okay.
So what? And there's a pullback. White can pull back.
So how do we know, for example, like whether this or that is larger in terms of
Right.
point
Sometimes
value?
they are like each side get one, right? For example, you have two 5 points move, then each side get one. I mean, if none of them are sente, so Mark Lee chose this one. He thinks this is the biggest. So this one, there's a follow-up.
Yeah,
the follow-up is this Atari.
Because we can actually play here, right? And
Right.
Then, and then if black extends,
Black cannot do that.
then we have a problem, right?
Yes.
So, okay.
But this one is also big. This one.
Yeah. I mean, so we can maybe let's do a comparison, because what if black had got that move? Like, how many points difference would that be?
Yes. So if black gets this move, black can actually play here.
Okay.
And then if white blocks, black can honey and connect.
Oh wow. That's actually there's sente, isn't it?
Yes, because after that there's a peep. If white ignores,
So
black can
here.
peep. White
Then
connects,
white cannot connect.
then white Atari's here.
Then in the words of Mingju, oops.
It's oops for everyone.
Oops for everyone. he likes that a lot. So white has to fix.
Yes.
And then
Yeah, so the thing is black gets sente. This
Right.
is important.
So how do you compare this to the other position where white got it and then
And
white
white has a follow-up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So this is if you see this is black gets this 7 points, right?
Right, okay, 7
And
points, black gets 7 points.
White has 1, 2, 3. So this is already 10 points with a follow-up.
Wow. And so if white has this, right? So when we're comparing this, you can pause the video, right? Think of this as a screenshot, and then we compare this with the other position, which is over here.
So this is at least 10 points, at least.
Right.
So up to here it's 10 points, and with this follow-up, the white will get more.
Right, right.
Yeah, so this is the
That's
biggest
huge.
move on the board right now.
So of course, as you said, black also got one of these moves. So black take this.
Black took that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And then white.
Okay, so white's gonna Atari, and then white takes one stone. Yeah, that's also pretty big, I think.
But this area white can get
Yeah,
the big.
white
big,
took that. That's pretty big. Yeah, so white fixes that. By the way, we have a time update in case you want to wonder about how many minutes these players have. I think black has 10 minutes left on the clock, so it's approaching a finish pretty soon, I think.
Well,
But I don't think Mark used a lot of time, or maybe we can work this out because each of them have 90 minutes of main time. So according to our rule set, each side has 90 minutes and 5 periods of 30-second Byayomi, and so basically a game could go on for 3 hours, right? So
yeah, so that means both sides still have some time.
it seems that Mark has used less time. They played.
Well, they played
pretty
really
rapidly.
fast, yes.
Yeah. This is definitely the fastest round we've had so
Really?
far, I think.
This is the fastest one so
Yeah.
far. This is
This is rapid.
Yeah.
I mean, we just hope that so when we do it tonight, right? Hopefully it's not gonna be like too fast, and then we're just like, oh, what do we do now? Right? So.
Well, we can start early tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back tonight.
You know what? Like because oftentimes we just like do things for like 1 hour into the game, right? We can actually let's chill tonight. Let's talk a little bit about what Go is. We can show some simple variations, right, for our audience maybe. So that's gonna be pretty enjoyable for everyone, I'm sure. Anyway,
I think this
caught up.
game white is gonna win. I think.
We can, of course, take a break and come back to what actually goes on towards the very conclusion of the game. I think after this break, we're probably gonna see the finish pretty soon. They're gonna go to counting.
Okay.
But it seems like, as you said, the conclusion is white's winning the game.
I think so.
Right. Well, in that case, if Mark does win, remember he'll be 5-1,
And Eric.
Eric, we don't know yet. I think we're just waiting on that result as well. So we'll of course give you updates on that. So yeah, when we come back, we're gonna have more interviews with our radio host Chris Garlock and tennis superstar. We must mention that too. All right, so see you soon.
All right, we are back, and we have some breaking news, which is that Mark has won the game that you're watching, and so Jennie and Steve will be back with a recap on that in just a moment. But we're really fortunate. I got a couple of the young players. We talked earlier in the week with Paul Barchelon about, I think he said 25% of the Go Congress is now young folks, and so we have some of them in studio with us now. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves to our audience? We'll start over here.
I am Owen Cedric. I am AQ from Toronto, Canada.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm Gavin N. 10Q from Toronto, Canada as well.
so we have some international visitors here. That's terrific. Now, you guys have been playing how long?
I've been playing since I was around 6-7, and I'm 13 now, so around 6 or 7 years.
I see your 15Q is scratched out. Is that did you start the week at 15Q and you're now 10Q, or did they just get it wrong?
Yeah, they got it wrong.
Because
They also
you guys,
got it wrong.
yours is had to be updated too,
I'm pretty
right?
sure I might have gone his rank because mine says 10Q, which is his rank. So
But you're actually AQ.
Yes.
Yeah, but you'll probably be 5Q by tomorrow, right?
no.
Yeah. Okay. And how long have you been playing?
About the same, but maybe a year or two more. But at that time, I had no clue what the game was. I was just putting stones on the board and hoping for the best.
Now, I should mention, and this was not planned, they were just hanging out, and I grabbed him and brought him in, but your dad will be familiar to some folks because he runs the Canadian Go Association, James, right? So very cool. Now, he's the one who taught you?
I think so. I don't know anyone else who would teach me.
Okay. Now, you guys study, you have classes, I think?
On Monday and Thursday night, I go to most of the classes. Sometimes I don't. But
I go to usually the Thursday classes because on Monday I have interfering classes.
Okay, now I'm not going to ask you what that is because I want to get back to the Go stuff. So, what kind of things are you learning in Go classes?
So, the Go class is an hour and 30 minutes. For 45 minutes, we don't actually pay much attention in that class. We mostly just goof around for a lot of it
Okay.
because it's Go problems, and most of the people there don't like Go problems.
Like life and death problems, or
Well, it's all different assortments. My dad imports, well, he used to import them from Korea, but now he just uses a printer to reprint everything.
okay.
But we're doing like Go problems on everything Joseki, we're doing life and death, caption races, all the sorts.
Wow, that's so cool. Now, what's your favorite thing about the game?
Well,
Owen, let's start with you.
in my opinion, I like to think that it's purely skill based.
Uh-huh.
So there's no luck involved. It's pure skill, knowledge, and all that sort. So it doesn't matter if, I don't know, what cards you get in a board game or such like that. It's just where you play. It's all you. Nothing based on luck.
Gavin?
So I like the tension because it feels like I don't know how to explain it. It's like more,
You're talking about retention when you're with the opposition, with your
Yeah.
player that you're playing against?
so like and the satisfaction when you play a good move or capture a large group or something.
You guys like that, don't you? And I see you guys, when you're the young players playing, it's always about chasing and capturing, isn't it?
I'm a very aggressive player. I'm pretty sure I'm getting better at being less aggressive, but I still think I'm very aggressive.
Now, another thing I've noticed about the younger players is that you guys play like unbelievably fast. I see you sitting there with the older players in the Congress, and you're just sitting there like, when's he gonna play? And you use like no time, right? Which creates, I mean, I'm sure you don't do it on purpose, but it creates such pressure on these guys who are just thinking and reading, and you like have used like 2 minutes.
My sister actually plays a little faster than me, so I've gotten that feeling before. My sister just plays like instantaneously, but she still plays good moves, better than me. I'm like, what? I need to think, play the move. Wait, what?
You think that's your thinking.
Yeah, so it's really hard to play under pressure, especially since it's my sister that's doing it to me.
Of course. Now, is this your first Go Congress for both of you, or have you been to other ones?
I
Many
went
others.
to one other one. This is my second.
Well, I would think because you both come with your dad for many years, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is our second one this summer, actually. We've also
Tell us about the other one.
The other one is the Canadian Go Congress.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
In that one, there was Pair Go, like a whole day for Pair Go. And I'm actually surprised at how little female players there were in Canada.
Yeah.
Because there were 4 different teams, and each team needed a female player to play.
Sure.
So it was kind of sad because there's so many people. Like, I think there was 60 people playing in the whole tournament. But if we tally that up, that means like 5% of the people there were female. So
It's a problem. So last question before we let you guys get back to running around and doing all your great things. There are a lot of things that are just for kids here at the Go Congress. Can you tell us just what some of your favorite things are? Let's start with with Gavin here. And then we'll go.
Also, there are a lot of youth, adults, pair goes or
Yeah.
youth team goes. For example, at 1:30 today, we're gonna go to a youth team competition, and his sister is also gonna be part of the team. So there are quite a lot for youth. I think it's because they want to encourage more youth players to come along and join Go, but I don't know. I think it might be working because there are a lot more kids now than before. So
Gavin, we'll give you the last word. What are some of your favorite youth activities?
some of my favorite youth activities. I'm pretty sure this one isn't just for youth, but my favorite thing just about that we can do with the youth is the Crazy Go, because it's
that's
practically
fun.
meant for us.
It is. It is.
I remember we did Knights Move One Color Go, So at the end, I remember Gavin exclaiming, "Wait, that group's not alive?" Because there was 2 stones just in a corner, didn't even have one eye. And so it was hilarious to find that everything happened.
That's
Again.
very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a recording, and the recorder of the game who saw what was going on was was always laughing hysterically because of all the stupid moves we were playing.
I'm sure they weren't stupid. Maybe they could have been better, but I'm sure they weren't stupid. I wasn't there. Were they pretty
The
stupid?
problem was we had a co at one point, and Gavin's co-threat, I just ignored the co altogether.
Good for you.
His co-threat was just in the corner. It had no purpose. It was, I don't know.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for taking time out, guys. Have a great rest of the Congress. We're going to get back to this game, which, as we mentioned, Mark has won, but we want to see how that all came about. Back to Jennie and Stephen. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Wonderful interview. Yeah, it looks like we have a result on board 1, round 6. Once again, this is the second to final round of the U.S. Masters, of course, the most prestigious tournament in North America, and we have a result. So it looks like Nyu Eiko, the previously undefeated player in this field, has lost to Mark Lee. She has resigned in, well, I think in about like 15 moves after this. So what a tournament this has become. We're really gonna have a good Friday night, I think. We're just gonna play to the finish, and then I think we're just gonna talk a little bit about what we anticipate next. Because this is just really exciting. You know, we try to do a lot of work every year by preparing a good quality production. Of course, what really goes on, it happens on the board. So the players determine the story of the tournament. So this is for us, very, very exciting for sure. Anyway, Jennie, I think we're just gonna play out like the last few moves. But you said previously, like, White's already winning, right?
Yeah, earlier, because I don't think this is the reason Black lost the game. I think the reason is earlier. I think Black, the whole time, like what we said earlier, right now it's 7.5 Komi. So Black needs to play, I think if you play too peacefully like this, it's hard for Black to win. So Black needs to play, I don't want to use the word more aggressively, but it's like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, you want to take initiative, yeah. When you attack, you got to attack.
You cannot play very calmly and just with the Komi, so White is more relaxed than Black. So we know that White starts with a higher win rate from the move 1, right?
Yeah.
So Black has to work harder. That means, but I think the whole time Black was not fighting so much. Black has to, like this area, I would say Black started to fall behind at this area, the left side earlier. Like what we said, Black should do some fight. Black needs to attack here. But Black didn't do it. And we see the result was White lived very easily and happily on both sides. So that I would say that is the reason, that is the biggest reason Black lost. But this Black definitely missed that 2 situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
this is
super funny.
pretty cool. But after that, Black will lose by a lot. I mean, White is even ahead on the board before Komi. So that means a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, because like normally when we say in professional games, right, even if it's like I think 2.5 points, like 2 points, that could be like a big margin already, right?
Well, right. So if I say a lot, it must be like, for example, White has the same points on the board, then White wins by Komi. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Right. But if White wins,
Even
White
has
even
more
wins on the board.
points.
Right. That's a lot. So I think White wins on the board. So that's definitely not a lot. But this is all because of that. But White will still win. I still think White will win even without this blunder. Maybe she just didn't see it.
Yeah. I mean, I think just throughout the game, I think Mark played really, really well.
Yes.
And I think he got pretty good results from this fight and got big moves here and there. Always got sente and just fixed the shape very solidly. Didn't give his opponent much of a chance, right? So even when Eiko tried attacking, she wasn't able to. score heavily in the middle as she needed, because she needed really to kill a few stones. But that didn't happen. Mark just calmly, fixed everything, and after that, it was pretty plain sailing for white.
Yes.
So yeah, really good win by Mark. But of course, now we're getting onto a very, very interesting situation. I was just reading OGS chat earlier, and someone was summing this up for us. Basically, in the early rounds, Mark lost to Yongfei, the Canadian 7 Dan, who lost to Eric Louis, the US, well-known professional, and Eric lost to Eiko in the previous round.
So there are 3 players,
And then-
one loss so far, right?
Well, for sure there will be, because actually we don't still have the result.
Oh, we don't know Eric's game yet.
We don't have the result of Eric versus Zhongfan, but actually Zhongfan is also 4-1. So either case,
either way.
Yeah, we will have 3 players with 5 wins and 1 loss. So this is going to be very, very interesting in the last round. Yeah, Jennie, I just don't know who's going to win this. I'm so excited.
Oh, well, I know you're not gonna win this. So why are you excited? Anyway,
That's
just
mean.
joking.
Hey, I want to die hard at least. I want tournament.
Oh, right, you want Die Hard.
The U.S. Masters thing, I can give this away to other players.
Well,
let
I
them
think,
win this one.
yeah, this is pretty good
Yeah.
result, because we have to wait until the last round to know who is gonna win. So this is what we want, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the last round is not as exciting as
Exactly.
So. Yeah, I'm gonna come back tonight and see who is gonna win the US Open and Master, right?
Well, yeah, for sure. So tonight we're gonna have an all-star lineup for you at 7 p.m. Central Time. That's round 7, the final round. We don't have the pairings yet. Well, of course, we'll announce them when we're ready. This is actually for those of you who happen to be here at Congress as well. We're gonna have a projector in Great Hall, the main arena, so that you could get a chance to see the actual broadcast. I think usually when we do these streams, usually they're playing, right? So, but tonight's like Friday night. It's a pretty big evening, and then they actually also get to spectate us. So that'll be very exciting as well. Anyway, yeah, great win by Mark once again. We will, of course, update the results as we have them. You can check the US Masters cross-test. That is on the AG official website. You can go to the onlinego.com/2019 USGC to have a full repository of all the previous demos we've had before. And of course, be sure to follow the e-journal reportage. We send out photos and videos there every day. So it's been really fantastic coverage by Chris Garlock and of course my fellow colleagues here. That's all we have for you this morning. And it's a pretty early finish, but of course we hope to see more action on the board tonight. We'll see you at 7 p.m.